This is Kai from Kikai Crafts. Welcome to Kikai Crafts and Journals. If you are into fountain pens and inks and journaling, well, this is your place. Now, October, November, December is about the time when a lot of collectors decide whether they want to get the Ink Advent calendar for the year. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Should you get one? And which one should you get? So for quite some time, Diamine had a very good hold on the Ink Advent calendar market. They released the Inkvent calendar consistently throughout the years, but in the last 2 years, this is the second year, Colorverse decided to join in with their Colorvent Ink Advent calendar. And I shared last year's Inkvent and Colorvent. I'll put a link up there for those who are interested. And for this year, we'll basically be doing the same. It's a spoiler, non-spoiler sort of ink swatching situation where you'll get to see the different inks, but it won't be in order and I won't be writing in their names. But I'll be talking about the experience as I swatch them. So if you're here, you're interested in which Ink Advent calendar you'd like to get, well, you're in the right place. We'll start with Inkvent, which is coming from Diamine. They have 25 mini bottles and one huge bottle. That's usually reserved for the 25th day. And then we'll continue with Colorvent. Colorvent has only 24 bottles, but it's a huge jump from, let me have a quick check, for the Inkvent, if I'm not mistaken, this is like 10 milliliters per bottle, and for the Colorvent, they have 15 ml per bottle. So it's there's more ink roughly with the Colorvent, but there's some more bottles of inks with the Inkvent, but only by one. Okay, so what do I usually use when I swatch? So I'll walk you through it. I usually have a kitchen towel with me, and that is meant to wipe my ink swatching tool. For this ink swatching exercise, we'll only be using my Dominant Industry glass nib. It looks like this. I usually swatch with the lower end, and then I try to cover it with this leather cover. This leather cover, by the way, does not come with the Dominant Industry glass nib, okay? This is called the ink muddler, if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't come with that, so be just knowledgeable in that. I'll also be using Maruman Loose Leaf, and I use this in a lot of my projects. I find that it is fountain pen friendly. It might not be as friendly as Tomoe River when it comes to showing off sheen and shimmer, but it does quite well. So I use the blank sheet for that, and we'll set that up. Okay. Again, the inks will not be in their consequential order. Okay, so paper, ink swatching tool, and of course I have a bottle of water to swatch, to rinse my ink muddler every so often. It can be any jar, it can be any container. Okay, so after I swatch all the inks of Inkvent and then Colorvent, I'll then proceed to talk a little bit about statistics, like what are the different colors if throughout the years, which one has the best variety of colors, which one has the best variety of properties for the inks. And if you are unfamiliar with the properties of the inks, that's basically the standard, which is your standard color. And then you have shimmer or glistening, as they call it in Colorverse. So that's basically your shimmer ink. That's with the tiny sort of glitter-like looking particles. Then you have your sheen, a very, very thick sort of ink that when you swatch it and when you write with it, it sort of has this particular sheen to it. Hence, it's called the sheen ink. Then we also have Chameleon, which is very unique to Diamine. We also have Extreme Sheen. We have, what else do we have? Star Bright, which is like Extreme Sheen, but for shimmer. So it's like a lot of shimmer particles are in it. And this year, Diamine introduced a new property into their ink advent calendar, and I think this is an echo of their newly released Forever inks this year. So we'll go through that and we'll figure out, the statistics for the different years, etc. In case you have been looking at getting an ink advent calendar and you want to choose exactly which calendar you want, I have you. Okay, and then I'll talk about my favorite inks from this collection as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin with the Inkvent. So I won't be showing you the bottles. I won't be showing you the names. In fact, I might need to move these away just so that there's a bit more of a surprise from your end in case that's something you wanted to do. Okay, so I've rearranged things. Few caveats. You might see some cat hair, and forgive the hands. I've been swatching since yesterday, and also my immune system issue is kicking in, so the skin is very dry. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Huh. Okay, so how do I usually do it? Oh, I usually don't remove that. Don't know why I did. So I'll be just basically removing the caps and then swatching it for you. You will know the property of the ink when I swatch them, so you'll see some variation, and in fact I'll be telling you the property of the ink, if not the name of the ink, just so you have like an idea. Okay, so I'm trying to unscrew the cap for you. Okay, I'm just going to remove the cap. I'm afraid to. Okay, there we go. All right, let's start strong with the blue. Do you know that there are a lot of blue inks in the market? I mean, maybe you think that there are a lot, but it's actually very true. There are a whole lot of blue inks in the market, more than any other color actually. Okay, we're going to use this to sort of rinse and this to wipe. Okay, and hopefully it's going to be not as slow. Okay, this one felt a little wet in the swatching process. I like this bright blue. It reminds me a little bit of Waterman blues, especially inspired blue. That's one of my favorites. Let's go for the next one. This one is Chameleon, but this one is a pigment ink. Oh my gosh, my cat decided this is a good time to join me. Okay, wait, this is not a good time. So a pigment ink is their forever ink. Oh my goodness. There we go. Which means it's a permanent ink. So if you are going to use their pigment ink, please be very, very careful in choosing which pen will go with it, because some pens and pigment inks do not play well together. That's a nice, rich, almost chocolate brown. Okay, it looks very nice. Kind of reminds me of Diamine's red ochre. They have that as part of their permanent ink. Okay, the next one is going to be a sheen ink, and that's the one that kind of has this nice reflective glow to it. It's also usually a very dry ink, so that's one thing you should note. If you are going to go for sheening inks, please make sure you use a broad nib, because the sheen makes it a drier variation of the ink. That's a nice like dark purple. So you can see the color of the water has changed dramatically. I feel that sheen inks are heavily pigmented. Of course, I mean, they would need that for to show off that sheen. The next one is a standard ink. So this can go onto any pen. There is no problem usually with these inks. It feels a little lighter and more wet than the sheen ink and the pigmented ink that we tried a second ago, as you can see too. Yeah, it's a bit like watercolor. Actually, it has a transparent end to it. Usually with standard inks, some people have issues and they talk about just how light it writes, but actually when it dries, it changes, it darkens. So don't be so worried about your standard inks. If they write light, after a bit of time, they do darken. By a bit of time, I mean a day or two. Okay, the next one is another pigment ink. So that's the new thing that Inkvent has decided to do in their Inkvent calendar 2025. They've introduced pigment inks or permanent inks into the set. So pigment inks are fantastic if you like to sketch. That's a nice bright red, by the way. If you like to sketch and do watercolor, in that you can use it to trace your lines and then you can color after and it will not mix into your watercolor. That's a really nice red. I actually like this red. I have a red ochre permanent ink. It's their Forever Ink line. And that one, I don't know, that's like a very watered down brown maroonish thing. Okay, let's move forward. The next one is going to be a standard ink. So again, there is no glitter, no shimmer here. There is no sheen. It's just ink. I think this must be one of my least favorite colors. It reminds me a bit of blood. Let's go ahead and just draw a nice little line there. Maybe it doesn't play well with this paper because please always remember that whenever you play with your fountain pens and whenever you journal, there is a interaction between your nib, your paper, and your ink. I have to say Maruman and this particular Inkvent ink, they don't really seem to match all that well. Okay, let's move this away. Okay, let's move forward. Another ink. Okay, I'm trying to shake this one. This has shimmer and sheen. So when I share these stats with you in a bit, you'll see that one column of my stats are reserved for combinations. Now, when I talk about combinations later, I'm talking about these inks, the ones that have a little bit of shimmer, some sheen, or maybe pigment and then some sheen or shimmer, because they do have that. Spoilers, non-spoiler alert. Well, you're here for a little bit of spoilers, so. Okay, so that dark blue one on top, does it look like black from your end? That is a shimmer and sheen ink. Okay, we're gonna go for another pigmented ink. This is called the Pigment Chameleon. And chameleon inks are very interesting inks because they have, I don't know, maybe a little bit of sheen and a little bit of maybe shimmer. This is in fact one of the rare yellows that I find in there. It's very visible. It's almost like a neon yellow, like a neon mustard yellow. It's a very nice shade actually. I don't know how it will show up on your screen, but from my end it's actually not bad because I don't really enjoy yellows because for the most part they're a little illegible, but this one is dark enough to be seen. Okay, I hope you don't get bothered with the cleaning materials on the side. They are important to the ink swatching video. Okay, now we have another standard ink. Let's put this there. Okay, it's a nice, more mustard brown thing going for us. That almost looked like a cat until I scribbled on top of it. So far you'll already see that the Inkvent calendar for this year looks very varied, not just in terms of their properties. You have your pigment, you have your shimmer, you have your standard, you have your shimmer and sheen, but also in terms of colors. Like we've just done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not even half of them, but you can already see a variation of colors happening for you. Okay, the next one, this is actually one of my favorite properties of ink. It's the chameleon ink. Thing though is that as much as I do love chameleon inks, I have a hard time looking for a nice pen for them because they do require broader nibs and broader juicy nibs so that you can really appreciate them, and really good paper. So this one is a chameleon ink. It's towards the dark one. I will share with you later when I share my statistics that I have what I call ambiguous colored inks. These are inks that kind of look like one color but also kind of look like another. So I just divided that in between ambiguous light colors and ambiguous dark colors. I'm not sure if I classified this as black or an ambiguous dark ink, because sometimes it's a really hard task to figure it out. Okay, now we have a shimmer ink, and this I like for how attractive they can look. This is a bit of a teal color. This actually reminds me of the box that this year's Inkvent comes in. It's a lovely, gorgeous teal. Last year it was a black, and the year before that was a purple, and the year before that it was a nice Christmas green. So this year it's like a teal, kind of like what you see in front of you. Okay, the shimmer usually comes out in the puddles of ink. So when you write, you'll often see the shimmer, yes, also in the lines, but also towards the end of the lines where the ink tends to puddle up, because that's how inks work. Oh, this one is a dry ink because it's a sheening ink. This is an extreme sheen. You already see it's kind of really dark, and it sort of sticks a lot to the glass nib. And this means if you are into sheen inks, this really means you need to get yourself a juicy, broad nib, just so that you can enjoy the sheen of it. Okay. This, I think, is going to be like, look at how it reacted with water. It's going to be like a blue. Okay, oh, another chameleon. I love chameleons. I really think that for a chameleon ink to be called a chameleon, sometimes there's a bit of sheen, but I also think there's like a mix of shimmer colors. So it's not just it's not just gold shimmer, and it's not just silver shimmer or blue shimmer. I think it's a mix of shimmer. So the shimmer or the glitter that you'll find are basically little sort of like plastic particles that they mix. And it's going to be a surprise, but you'll see what I mean in a little while as we progress through this. So again, the standard inks, as you can see, it flowed really well on the glass nib, and it flowed really well onto the paper. So this and this, but the pigmented one, they clung a bit, and of course the sheening ones clung a bit into onto the glass nib because of the property that you have. Okay, next one is a shimmer ink. Again, you'll see some mica particles or the glitter, the shimmer that they have. If you notice, there seems to be a lot of like dark inks right now. Okay, so there are a bit of blues in this collection. It's quite interesting actually when you look at the breakdown of colors per year, that they sort of, not always, but sometimes match with the color of the box. Okay, the next one is a scented ink. So for scented inks, they smell the way they're named usually. Last year, we had Cinnabon that really smelled good. This year, of course, I'm not going to tell you the name, but maybe I'll have a little guess with the color, or maybe you've watched other spoiler videos. One thing with scented ink, though, is that this smells actually very nice, very earthy. The scent lasts not very long. Okay, so maybe it lasts maybe 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 if you really smell the paper, like have it really close to your nose. But one thing is that it feathers a lot. Okay, so there's a lot of feathering usually with scented inks. So be careful with that. Now, what does that mean for you? If you know that an ink feathers a lot, then you might want to tend to use finer ink. So you're looking at needlepoint or EF or F. And you want to get paper that is not too fountain pen friendly, meaning it doesn't, well, meaning I suppose that it absorbs ink quickly, maybe a fast drying paper. Okay, this one is a standard. If I'm not mistaken, this is, I think, one of my favorites from this collection. It's a nice pale muted blue, and it dries so prettily as well. Later I'll be showing how it looks on other paper options. Actually, just one more as we go through a very quick review of it. But on this paper, it's a very muted blue that I really, really enjoy. I think we are a little bit past our halfway point, which is good. So you see you have your reds, you have a yellow. This is a little unique when it comes to ink advent calendars. You have a lot of dark colors. There's usually a lot of dark colors. Okay, so the next one is a standard. So Inkvent has a number of standard inks in their calendar. This is like a nice dark blue. We'll see how it looks dried up. I think this is more of like a blurple. It's just like a dark purple, dark blue sort of ink, but it's a standard. Even if it's a standard though, if you notice, it clings a lot to the glass nib, and usually that means it's a drier ink. Again, dry ink means get broader nib widths. So that the thing is, if you use a finer one, you might be a little, what's the word? Frustrated. Okay, because you'll feel that it doesn't write well, it skips, it does hard starts, it's not a fun experience. Okay, we're going for a shimmer ink next. This one dries really nice. It's also like a wetter ink, so that means if you have a nib that will work well with shimmer particles, you can maybe go for a finer nib for this, only because the ink itself is like towards a wetter, more diluted consistency. Okay, then of course it's time for a bit of extreme sheen. If you notice, this one is an extreme sheen ink. Let me hold it up for you. So you can already see that it sort of reflects even when it's dry, it sort of reflects light. Then you have your chameleons with your glitter on it, or your shimmer. Here's another one. And then you have your pigmented inks right there. Okay, next one is another extreme sheen. Have I done this? Okay, I haven't. I know I haven't because I like this one. And I don't see it on the paper yet. Extreme sheen again. Yes, again, it's quite dark. And yes, again, it's sticky. It's like it, yeah, it's very thick. Okay, this one dries so prettily. Like maybe I have to look for a broad nib in my collection so I can use this. But yeah, the thing too is that sheening inks take some time to dry. And so if you are going to use sheen ink, you might want to get yourself blotter paper. I'm trying to look for a blotter paper for you. So Esterbrook, they have this blotter paper. As you can see, I use this a lot. So what you want to do is you want to put it on top of the page so that it sort of absorbs the excess ink. And that is very important when you have sheen inks because it takes a while for it to dry. Okay, I'll show you like a quick look. So this is a chameleon ink. So you can see there's some like glitter on it. So it's a mix of glitter colors. This is a pretty good color. It's nice and bright and cheery. It's actually very Christmassy. You can already see the shimmer particles floating on the surface. Just so you know, some of my favorites would be this blue one, this one actually, and this one. Chaos is a fun one. It shows up in different ways on different paper. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I said a name. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. Yes, one of it is called Chaos, and I love it. Okay, next one is a standard ink. Nothing extra special with this one, but this gives a lot of Christmas vibe. It's a nice green, Christmas green ink. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so there are a lot of like darker inks in this collection, but you also have a lot of lighter inks. It has quite a good variation of colors and properties. Okay, let's move forward. Ooh, this one is interesting. They call this a pigment shimmer. So it's like a permanent ink. It is a permanent ink pigment, but they also put some mica particles or some glitter or shimmer on it or in it. So it is permanent, but it'll also show off some shimmer. I'm not sure, but I think their Forever collection, Diamine Forever, only has standard pigment colors, meaning it's just that it's like a standard ink, but it's just heavily pigmented and it's permanent. It's not water-based. Okay, where are we? Okay, next is a chameleon. So again, you'll see the chameleon colors on it. I'm trying hard not to spoil too much. This is a pretty nice red. So they do have quite a number of reds in this collection. Yep, that's a chameleon. So one scented so far. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We're down to just 2 more. Okay, so you can already see it's the only one I left a mark for, just so that you have like an idea of how lines with it look like, and that's how it is. If you're a fan of like muted colors and you've been looking for a nice muted red, this might be something you might like. Next one is Extreme Sheen again. Okay, again, sheen. Inks are quite sticky, and so sometimes it's a little tricky to uncap them. Okay, also to swatch them. They're so sticky. I think this is like a teal variant of it. And then I don't know how it's going to dry. Actually, I do know. Oh, okay, it's that one. So it's like they really played with ink properties this year. They introduced a few new ones, and then they also skipped a few of the ones that they had in the past 2 years, I think. Okay, then this one is a pigment ink. This is one of my favorites. This is a very nice, rich pink. Sort of reminds me of Ferris Wheel Press Bride to Be calligraphy ink. It has that nice, true pink feel to it. Okay, so there you have your Inkvent selection of colors. We're going to leave it to the side to dry, and then we're going to revisit it after we go through our Colorvent ink advent calendar. Give me a second to sort of tidy things up and also prepare for the Colorvent. I'll be back in no time from your end, from my end. It'll take me maybe a minute or two. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. All right, so I'm back. Fresh sheet of paper. Maybe I can scoot you a little bit closer. Don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, but okay, that should be good. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Now, just to let you know, Colorverse has only 2 ink properties. Oh my gosh, it's like it wants to show itself off. That's standard and glistening. So glistening is basically with mico particles. It's like your shimmer ink. It is your shimmer ink, but they just call it glistening. So if you don't hear from me if it's a glistening ink or not, then just think of it as a standard ink. Though I do have my doubts because sometimes they call it a standard ink. This is the first one, nice rich purple, but I feel like it has some sheen to it. So some of their inks, they call it a standard ink, or they don't have any label to it at all. It's only their glistening that sort of gets differentiated. But I feel like quite a number of their inks actually have some sheen going on for them. Okay, well, I hope I didn't spoil that one. Their bottles are a little hard to uncap. I've been playing with the ink since yesterday. As you can see, my hands get all dried from trying to uncap. Oh, this one is an interesting color, and it has an interesting name. So if you got yourself a Colorvent calendar and you've gone ahead and spoiled the whole thing for yourself, you know I think this has such an interesting name. This one is like a nice bright neon green. And when you hear the name, when you get your Colorvent, you'll understand why I'm very amused with it. You know what? I think towards the end of it, I'll do a super spoiler for those who want to stay back for that. So I'll make sure to just put it at the very end, where I'll reveal the names, because that one is fun. This one, again, has no special characteristic on it. So it's not a glistening, could be a standard. Sure, I don't think this one has any sheening to it, this particular one. Okay. So yeah, for the sake of statistics later though, if Colorverse did not classify it as a glistening ink, I'm just going to go ahead and just identify it as a standard ink. But again, that's with me letting you know that I have my doubt. Oh, this is such a thick one. It's a very dark one. I think it's a black. I feel it's a black. It's a very, very dark color for sure. But whenever I wash it off, it leaves some sort of like dark blue, dark purple marks on the kitchen towel. Okay, again, no specific classification. So again, a standard. They have a lot of standard inks. Okay, this is a lovely muted color. It's like makes me think of a lot of Tono and Lims inks that are fantastically muted inks. Okay, I'm just making sure you don't see the inks that I'm putting on the side. Okay. And also I noticed that Colorverse, they don't really have a lot of bright colors in their collection. Again, not identified as anything. So again, maybe a standard. This one I feel is actually a standard. It's a lovely pink color. I think it's more of like a coral color. Ah, yeah, that's the word I wanted to use for the pigmented ink from Inkvent earlier. It's like more of a coral than a red or a pink. Okay, again, no description. As you can see, I put my glass nib down because the caps on these inks, they're not easy. A lot of dark colors, super. And very thick, very viscous. As you can see, it's a little hard to sort of swatch them. So can you imagine writing with them? So again, it's like a public advisory. Thick ink, broader nibs. Thicker inks, broader nibs. Okay, so this one again, not glistening. I think this is the one that, one of the inks that I think have some sort of sheen happening. And also it's another dark one. Okay, this is a nice deep blue. Colorvent inks often have space-related names. Okay, so that one, all of these actually have space-related names. I guess you'll kind of figure out why this one is extra amusing if you really think about it. Okay, let's try another one. Ah, finally, we have a glistening ink. So this is again the one with shimmer. I'm trying to be very light with my swatching, but you'll see it actually leaves marks on the paper. Oh, this one is a nice chocolate brown. Pretty good color. Okay. So if you're into browns, this is a good candidate, actually. I've tried writing with this, and it's a really good writer. Okay, let me just move some of the bottles before they start falling off. And then you can just look at the ink swatches for now. Okay, I'm trying not to make them fall. If you've noticed, I've also changed my table, and it's interesting because there's a whole lot of space and also not a whole lot of space for some reason. Okay, let's just make sure you don't see the bottles. Okay, next one. Ooh, this is another glistening. Interesting. So this is glistening, then we have another glistening ink. I think that the particles for the shimmer bit are actually finer on Colorverse inks. That means they won't clog your nib too much. The same can be said for Wearingeul shimmer inks. Very nice fine particles, which of course also means They're okay to use with medium nibs and sometimes fine nibs. Though I've heard a lot of people say that they use their Esterbrook fine and extra fine nibs with no issues with their shimmer inks. Oh, this is a nice yellow as well. This is a bit more mustard than the other yellow. You'll see them go side by side, but let me just quickly show it to you. Ooh, something almost fell. So this is more mustard than this. This is a brighter yellow. This is the Inkvent one. This is like almost an orange when it dries, actually. Okay. Again, there's also a lot of variety of colors, but it does lean towards darker shades. That's something I noticed with Colorvent. Okay, so this one is a glistening ink. Let's go ahead and match it with the other glistening. Oh, it looks like a lighter version because this one has a bit of a brown feel to it, brown blue feel with some of the shimmer going. This one is definitely a brown. And we'll see the shimmer on it after a bit when it dries. So if you have shimmer ink and you look at the paper and you're like, oh, I don't really see all the glitter it should show. Wait a while. When it dries up, you'll see it. And the drier it gets, the more you will see your shimmer or glisten. Okay. Ooh, dark, deep red on this. Almost like a brown. Oh, did they have a similar one last year? I remember last year they had an ink. Was it Colorvent or Inkvent? That was mostly red when you swatched it, and when it dried, it became like this red with some brown happening. That was an ambiguous color. Okay, I'm trying to get more inks. Okay, let me try to move the ink bottles here first. Okay, let's move forward. Oh, the next one is another glistening ink, so I'm just going to put it here. You can already see some of the shimmer happening on this ink. These bottle caps are crazy. Crazy hard to, because they come with like some suction thing. Don't know if you can see it. To, of course, make sure that your ink is well sealed and it doesn't spill. But still, it's no fun to uncap them. Oh, I remember. I think it's this one. That was especially hard to uncap for some reason. I think that the rubber bit on the cap got stuck on the cap. This one is no description ink, so I'm gonna count it as a standard. Oh, do you see what I mean with this one? You can see some browns in it too. Oh, look at this. It's such a dreamy blue. Wow, I think this is the one that when it dries, there's some green, or is that? Yeah, I think this is the one. I'm not so sure now that I'm talking about it. I know there is one particular ink. It could be this, that when it dries, it's a beautiful muted blue with some green undertones. Okay, again, not a glistening ink coming next. I don't see a lot of shimmer in that. Maybe it needs to dry a bit more. Okay. There we go. Let's spread that out a bit more. Dark red going for you. Well, not a deep dark, more like a dark red orange shade. It's a pretty nice one. This one reminds me of Vinta Damili, one of my favorite inks. Okay, if you heard that, that's my cat trying to move around and jump around. Okay, this one again, standard ink. No extra description. Oh, this one is the red. Huh. This here, the other one also has a nice red. So they're giving a lot of nice basic colors. I guess it's for the people who are not very much into shimmer or shading inks. Okay, this one again, not a glistening ink, so we'll classify it as a standard. There we go. Dark again. Dark blue this time. Okay, so many bottles beside me now. Okay, let's move. Next one. Again, not a glistening ink. Oh yeah, this is the one I really like. That has like green undertones, like, oof. Can't wait to ink that up. But I'm thinking of which one to ink it with. There are two inks here that very much looks like really strong blacks. This one and this one. So if you're basic like that, you really just want a good solid black. I think they have two from this ink advent calendar. Okay, let's go, move forward. I love the name for this. I also like how it looks when it's dry, but when it's wet, it's a little hard to see. So I'm not sure how this will fare. Ooh, this might work well with Esterbrook Sweet Dreams. Have you seen Esterbrook Sweet Dreams? I don't know if I have it around. But Esterbrook Sweet Dreams ST, they have, yeah, I think this one will match well with that. Don't know where I put mine. I have pen cases everywhere, so. Okay, so let's move forward to the next one. I'm just going to tell you right now, the last ink that I'm going to share, pretty much a spoiler, but a really good spoiler. So I don't know. I don't know how to feature that without spoiling it, actually, because it has a pretty good, addition. I think that's what makes this year's Colorvent quite an interesting set, apart from a lot of interesting colors. Which one do I go for first? Okay, so I think I'll do this one first, and you'll figure out why when I share this super last ink. Okay, so this one is a very pale yellow. Oof, sorry, didn't mean to mix it with that one. So you might see an overlap there. I think I'm a little excited with the next ink. Do you mix inks? Huh, some people do, you know. I haven't really done that. What I've done is that for the drier inks, I've gone ahead and put a little bit of, what do you call that? Put a little bit of dishwashing liquid just to make it flow more. Oh no, it's not going to show as pure as I want it, but it's a very nice interaction. Okay, next one. Last one, kind of. Okay, so this one is a nice muted blue, teal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And then I'll show you the 24th one. But in preparation for the 24th, let's get this one and just heavily saturate part of it, because we need that for the last one. So I've been talking a lot about shimmer ink and mica particles and the shimmer that you find. And one very good way to see it is in this year's Colorvent calendar bottle. Okay, this is a very special mix. I would say I wouldn't say it's an ink because you'll barely see it if you're right with it. So what you want to do, according to the instructions, is you want to mix this ink with your other inks. And as you can see there, that's that sediment you see right there, that's the shimmer that you see in some of the inks that I've featured here. Okay, so we're going to shake it and you'll see, look how pretty it is. So we're going to go ahead and shake it, and what we're going to do is we're going to mix it with this, just so you see how it looks. So the idea is to mix two inks separately actually, but so if you just use that, you'll barely see anything. Well, now you kind of see something, but you'll really see the effect when you mix it with another ink. Oh, look at that. It's very, very pretty. So it leaves some sort of like a pink blue shimmer. Okay, I'm gonna move. Okay, first I'm gonna cap the ink because that one wanted to be seen. Then I'm gonna draw you nearer to it. So that's how it looks, that addition. Can you see it? So that's how it looks separate right there. And then if you mix it, this with this, then you get something like this. And this one just decided to get all abstract on us. Okay, so this is what you get from the Colorvent. Let's pack away a little bit. Okay, give me a second. I'll pack away a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and sort of, there, we're gonna show you both. Okay, and then I'm gonna pack away while you look at that, and then we'll talk statistics, and maybe we'll go for super duper spoiler. Well, not yet, stats, and then maybe the spoiler. All right, so we're back. You'll see that there's quite a wide range of colors if you get just these two ink advent calendars. As I was watching this last night, and I'll show you how I swatched it last night, I was thinking maybe from now on I'm just gonna buy ink advent calendars, and that should set me up for the year, because you get all these beautiful colors as it is. But then who am I kidding, right? So here you'll see there's a lot of darker colors. That's not very surprising because a lot of us do like to write with darker ink. Oh my goodness, my other cat decided to join the party. You can see her paws. Okay. Oh no. Now she has decided to check on the teeth. Okay. So many things are falling now. Hopefully not ink bottles. Okay. Hold up a second. Hold up. Frey, what are you doing? Okay, she has a favorite toy on my desk. Freya, did you eat something? Okay, here. Freya, look. Freya. Okay, now you're like listening to us converse. Come here, sweetheart. Here, your favorite box. I'm gonna put it on the, okay, oh, try not to move my things too much. Okay. So hopefully if I put out her favorite toy on the bed, Freya, look. Maybe she will go there. Okay, so while she is moving around, there is no sitting. Oh my goodness. Hey you. Okay, now she decided to look all cute beside me. Okay, so here we go. Again, quite a wide variety of colors and a lot of properties. You have your pigment inks. Oh, what happened to you? She wants a little bit of attention. Some of my favorites this year would be this one and this one from the two. Okay, 1 second. This is my ink journal, by the way, that I'm going to share in a bit, but for now I need to take her. Okay, 1 second, everyone. Okay, There we go. All right. Oh my gosh, it's like this yellow one refuses to be controlled. It's like everything should happen to that one. Okay, so we're back. Really bad representation of this now, but don't worry, I got you. I had another ink swatch that I've done. This again is your Colorvent, your Inkvent. Lots of sheen, okay, for those who are really interested in sheen. Pretty nice sheen on this one. Okay on these. All right, so how do they compare? Let's go ahead and put these away to dry just a little bit more, a little bit of my abstract work. And then a lot of things falling on the side. All right, so apparently more things happened. Okay, so this is my ink journal, and I've gone ahead and I've done a few stats for you. Okay, so I'll take a second if you want, so you can maybe take a screenshot, but basically I went ahead and I went through the colors and sort of divided them according to red, orange, like sort of identified them. And then I went through the different properties as well. Okay. So you'll see that for Inkvent 2022, that's the green one. There was quite a number of different colors for that one with an ambiguous dark, meaning I didn't really know how to identify it. For Inkvent 2023, that's the purple one, 2 ambiguous ones, and a lot more greens in that one. But there's also like a lot of purples actually in Inkvent 2024. So you see there are 9 different sort of purple looking colors that year. For Inkvent 2025, the teal one this year, you'll see that there's like a lot of different colors actually for that one. Don't mind the sound. That's my cat just exploring things. For Colorvent 2024 and 2025, again, wider variety of colors. So if we are going to talk about which one has more variety of colors, I'd say Inkvent and 2025 versus Colorvent 2025, it would be Colorvent 2025. But if you are hell-bent on getting yourself an Inkvent and you don't know which Inkvent to get the most number of colors, then go for this year's Inkvent. In terms of properties, obviously for Colorvent, this year has more because of that interesting additional ink that I spoiled at the last bit of it. But you'll also see that based on properties, this year has quite a number of different properties from the Inkvent. So actually this 2025 ink advent calendars, it feels like Diamine and Colorverse really went out of their way to really introduce and showcase new ways to appreciate inks, like some sort of a really good sampler for next year. This is where additional stats come in. So if you are looking for most varied colors, most varied properties, this year's boxes are what you'll want. If you are a red person and you want to get a lot of reds, go for Colorverse last year, 2024. If you're more of a green person, go for Inkvent 2023. If you're a blue person, then you should go for Colorverse 2024. They have 7. So this one has 6. Red, there's more in Colorvent 2024, but only by 1. Yellow is not well represented, so I didn't really put that in. But if you're really into yellows, go to Colorvent 2025. Okay, and then in terms of blues, again, go for Colorvent. Blues, Colorvent 2024. It has 7. Pinks, you rarely see pinks, but they had 2 different sort of pink. One was more of a coral in Inkvent 2025, If you're into purple, definitely go for last year's Inkvent. They had a lot of purples there. And then if you're looking at extreme shimmer, they have quite a bit of them in last year's with Starbright having two. So Starbright is like extreme shimmer. And if you're looking at extreme sheen, like a whole lot of sheen in your ink, then again, last year would have been extreme sheen. Last year again would have been your best bet. If you enjoy chameleon, which is like a strange combination of colors and shimmer, then Inkvent 2023 or the purple one would work best for you. So that's the statistic. Okay, let's go ahead and have a comparison before I go for spoilers. I'll let you know when it's spoiler time so you can maybe pause and say goodbye. So this is not in any particular order, but it'll sort of show you how the inks have moved throughout the years. Let's start with Inkvent first. So I have them in ink swatching cards for you. Maybe I should scoot you a little bit closer still. Okay. So I have one bottle that I gave away and then I can't seem to find it. Okay, this is 2022 Silent Night. So if you have a sample or a sample bottle of it, please send me because I really, really would like it. Okay, so this is 22, 23, 24, and 25. One of my favorites from this year. Okay, again, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is Inkvent, by the way. Okay, so this one has a lot of chameleon and shimmer happening for it. Quite dark colors in that one. For this particular day throughout the years, you'll see more reds and browns. This is a nice green when it dries. This one too has a nice collection this particular day. This is a shimmer ink, but it's almost like a chameleon actually. This is pigmented. This is how it looks throughout the different years. So this is one day for the whole year. Oh, I want to put this aside because I want to compare this. This kind of makes me think of the other color that I sort of like from Colorverse. See what I mean with this one being more coral than pink? But okay, and this one being really nice pink. So it's pretty varied actually. Can you imagine having all these inks? Like, when will I use them? Where? That's a really nice extreme sheen example for you. See it with the light. Okay. One of the rare yellows. Again, another extreme sheen. Oh, two extreme sheens. You see how the light works for them? Let me see if I can. Okay, it's pretty cool actually. Okay. The shimmer for Diamine's pretty cool too. This is one of my favorites from last year. As you can see, I do enjoy muted purples. I don't know. I guess I enjoy colors depending on my mood. Oh, it's a lot of shimmer going for these two. So yeah, so you'll see the difference between shimmer and sheen. Sheen is like the whole thing is shiny. For shimmer, it's really like you just added some glitter, but both shine quite a bit. And ink swatching is always going to be different from when you write. So you can maybe see a lot of shimmer when you swatch, but when you write, it might not be this much. Oh, this is Starbright. It's like extreme shimmer from Diamine. And then we go for Colorverse because it's only been 2 years with them. Quite dark. Okay, here we go. This is with their shimmer or glisten. Doesn't show much on their lighter ink, but it shows really prettily on their darker inks. Oh, skipped one. Ah, this is the one that went rogue on the sample paper because of me and my cats. Nice. Is that a top? Is that what you call that? Ooh, this is where I mixed that special ink with another ink. Did I miss one? Oh, maybe I did. There we go. I look like I'm a little distracted because I'm also checking in on my cats. This is the red with a bit of brown. This is a nice combination of two together. It's like a blue and then an orange, but both are like muted. Kind of like that. Oh, this is from last year. I think I voted for that last year. Okay, pretty standard. Oops, this one has some sort of like undertones going for them. Nice, these two. Oh, this is the glistening. Okay. This is the coral that we got this year. One thing I noticed between the Inkvent and the Colorvent last year is they sort of complemented each other day per day. I think I'll be doing that same exercise this year where I'll feature Inkvent and Colorvent for the day and have them both on one page like what I did last year. I think that's a fun exercise just to see if these are both Colorvent, by the way. This is Colorvent 2024 and Colorvent 2025. Ooh, they have glistening on this day, both years. Okay, where is that color that I like? Did I miss it? Okay, maybe I missed it. Where is it? Sorry, you're gonna go through the swatch cards with me. Didn't it show up properly here? That's weird. Oh, I think it's this one actually. So yeah, it does look different on this paper. Yeah, I think that's the one. Or is it this one? Oh, I think it's this one. Okay, so yeah, it's lighter than the Inkvent 2022. I really like this. It's like a sweet color. Okay, so those are the colors that we've had on the Ink Advent calendars. And if you don't want super spoiler, this is a good time for you to say goodbye. So thank you very much for joining me. But if you want to stay for just a bit more with names and all of that for this year, then I can show it to you. So this is the statistics. This is what we had 2022. Can you see it? Let me squish you a bit out. There we go. So this is what we had 2022, 2023, pretty good selection there. 2024, Snow Globe looks pretty nice. And then we have 2025 with all the names and all of that. Laurel really looks nice when it dries, and so does Celestial Skies. Let It Snow is another good one. I really like this because it really reminds me of a watermelon ink that I love, and Overcast. That's fantastic. And then we have Colorvent 2024. Pretty good collection. One of my favorites was Sailing Stones. I think I voted for this, and I think Rover. Or Milky Way. Maybe Milky Way. And this is what we have for this year. I think it's such a feast for the eyes. This year, definitely going for Blue Hole. That's like definitely one of my favorites. And Polar Night. I'm thinking of one more. And I'm not quite sure yet which one will get my vote for that last bit. But these two, I'm going to ink up my Esterbrook with this, my Esterbrook Sweet Dreams. I think it'll be a lovely pair. Okay, and yeah, I'm thinking of what my last one's going to be, and I think that's it. Okay then, thank you so much for joining me as I explored this whole ink advent calendars, these two from this year. And I hope that you join me on Instagram at Kikai Journals so that you can see how the two inks pair day per day as we go through December 1st to December 2025. Say hi to me if you're coming from this video. And if you like this particular video, please hit like. And if you enjoy fountain pens and journaling, please do hit subscribe so you are notified. Also the ring button thing. Yep, and I think that's it. Oh, and if you live in Jakarta, please say hello as well, because I do have an event coming up in November, and I do want to invite people from YouTube as well. But if you want to see me consistently post every day, well, you'll see that on Instagram. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for joining me again. This is Kai from Kikai Crafts, and I hope that wherever you are, you're having a great day or a restful evening. Bye, everyone.